Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Schoolscape online webinar. The purpose of these webinars is to help your school by introducing you to companies, products, and services that can really help you during what is quite a challenging time. So I am super excited for today's webinar because I believe we have something that is truly inspiring to see in action. So, but before I dive into a proper intro, I've got online with us is Tim from Hikvision. Tim, welcome on board with our webinar today.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Brilliant. So why I'm excited also for today's webinar, it's often we do webinars with physical products, but we actually don't get to see them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview Tim. Tim's going to do a bit of an overview of remote sensing and a comprehensive system. And then we're going to go live to Hunter, who's going to be online as well, to actually show us physically the products with his webcam on what they look like. So I'm quite excited for this. For all of the schools that are online, welcome. It is great to have you here. Thank you for all the hellos that are coming through. If you do have any questions, I ask on your right, there's a chat bar. There's also a question tab. So please just pop your questions directly in there and we'll see if we can address those at the end. But Tim, I think let's dive in. And I think biggest question, what are the safety challenges that schools are going to face when they open?
Thank you. So one of the biggest challenges that schools will face when they open is the congregation of people that will be coming in for education, which is also very, very important. So it feels almost like a bit of a rock and a hard place situation almost, because on one hand, education is very, very important. As we know, our government has said that they will try and recover the school year as much as they can. And we will also need to try and protect the students from preventing these congregations from becoming the new hotspot for the second wave infection. The unique challenge
Oh, sorry, I see we've got Hunter in the background talking. Sorry, Hunter, for everyone who's viewing, is going to be doing our live demo. Hunter, just what I'm going to do at the moment is just remove you, then I'll bring you back on later when you're going to do the live stream. My apologies, everyone.
Sorry, everyone. So basically, one of the situations that you can potentially have is the risk of a congregation. Also, if human traffic is not monitored and the flow itself is not carefully monitored, for lack of a better term, it can become a hotspot for second wave infections. Mm-hmm. So we absolutely do not want that, because then all the hard work that we've done and suffered through for the current lockdown that we're still in would be for nothing, basically. Also, when kids return from school, it is a unique risk as well for kids exiting the school once they've now mingled and so we just need to keep this in mind when it comes down to schools reopening.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I see some people are battling with sound. I just want to check if that is just, I see Verna and Marietta are battling with sound. Is anyone else battling with sound? To those that are, please just check your sound bar settings. Okay, so sorry, my apologies, Verna and Marietta. I think it is limited to you, so please just check your speakers. Brilliant. I think, Tim, you've raised some really big points when it comes to the challenges. I think, as you rightfully said, we've been in lockdown for a long time. We don't want to waste what we've done with hotspots. So follow-on question with that is, and I think this is important for schools to understand, what role does temperature screening play when it comes to keeping a school safe?
So one of the quicker ways and more efficient ways to test if someone is having issues or have a potential health risk is to use temperature screening. We do acknowledge the fact that temperature screening is not exactly 100%, but it does give a first layer of protection. So if you're running a temperature, ideally you should be self-quarantining, and you shouldn't actually go to public places. So to protect yourself, it is very, very important to make sure that you have this first line of defense. Your other lines of defense, of course, will be, your sanitizing, your face mask wearing, that kind of stuff. But the easiest gauge, for lack of a better term, will be temperature screening, because you don't necessarily have the capability to put down a tent and use a test on everyone. And when you're now looking at shifts of students, sometimes in the hundreds, the most efficient way is actually to do temperature screening.
Brilliant, thank you. I think that that helps schools understand, because I think the idea of going back to school is a daunting task, and how do you manage it to prevent breakouts? So when it comes to temperature screening, Tim, so I think at the moment most schools are looking at the traditional temperature readers, and to have those in front entrance, what kind of challenges will that bring for a school?
So traditional fever screening devices, this being your the mercury devices or the IR guns that you typically see at some entrances now, where this is open, they typically have to go either to your forehead, or they are a little bit intrusive in the fact that they need to get close to you. So I'm sure we've all seen you drive into a premises now with some of the businesses open, they have a security guard in the front, the guy comes and measures you. Most of the time they're probably not going to be doing a good job. They just want to hear the beep and then you can move on. That is very, very not secure, and in the long term, which we'll show, it actually doesn't help with the overall effort of trying to flatten the curve. There's several reasons why these solutions fall short. First of all, like I said before, they don't follow social distancing. These solutions are invasive. They have a working distance between 3 to, or basically human contact. If you're wearing a face mask, if you get coughed on or sneezed on, your risk at the end of the day is still very high. You're putting your operators at risk. That's the issue number one. And the second issue is that these kind of temperature sensing devices typically require a lot more human effort to get the correct information. For example, if you're using the mercury thermometer, you need to train up your staff to be able to use it correctly. Do you put it inside their mouth? Do you put it under their tongue? Are you putting it in the correct place inside the mouth? Or are you putting it under their armpit? That is in its own a set of challenges, and it creates a labor potential challenge that can come back and affect you. That's shortfall number one. If we look at the other side of the coin, which is the IR guns, which requires forehead. Now, these IR guns are sensitive enough that if you have a fringe like myself, I haven't had a haircut for a while, apologies.
None of us have.
You can actually run the risk of certain types of hairstyle, what you're wearing, to be affecting the accuracy of that measurement. So unless you really know what you're doing, the quality of the data that you get out of it might be negatively impacted. Now, the third issue here is to help flatten the curve. What we're seeing globally that governments are doing is that they're actually requesting for education, for labor-intensive institutions and businesses to actually feed back data. So how many people have you screened today? How many people have you screened this week? How many people have you seen that is running at normal temperature? How many people have you seen that is not running at normal temperature? All these kind of data is important for the long run for, we as a nation to actually help flatten the curve. And this is very important to keep in mind, because education is very much on the front line of this. And we're guarding our most sacred resources, which is our future generation in this case. So it is important to keep these factors in mind when choosing your solution. One, the quality of the data and the type of reporting that you can do when you push back, when you now implement. Two, the efficiency and whether or not you're putting your labor at risk and how fast you can get past the testing. And three, whether or not you're still following social distancing when you're implementing this kind of solution. Yeah.
Tim, I think you raised some big points. And I think to me also, just if you've got 100 kids or 650 learners coming through 2 or 3 school entrances, it's impossible for a queue not to build up. So I think that's also a challenge if you have a handheld scanner. There's a lot of logistics. All right, Tim, we've mentioned a lot of the challenges. I think it's now time to see the solution. So I know you're going to show us a bit of a presentation on now of what you have available. I know we had a question come in. If you have missed the beginning of the webinar, you will get an email afterwards where you can watch it on demand. So just to answer Mark's question. Tim, but over to you. If you'd just like to run through what I believe is an incredibly comprehensive system. In fact, when you showed it to me in the test run of this webinar, I was actually blown away. So over to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen quickly.
Cool. Just while Tim is loading the screen, one of the other things from Schoolscape side, we always look for companies that we know can really service a school. And what I quite like about Hikvision is it is a big international business. But on top of that, they've actually got demo rooms in South Africa, and they've got a person appointed to all the major provinces. So there's definite support for schools. And I think that is one thing that really stands out about Hikvision. So, Tim, I'm stealing and talking back to you.
No worries. And just to elaborate on the point, I know a lot of the businesses or education institutes will be more comfortable if they can actually see the technology for themselves, see it working in a live environment. So please feel free to contact us. You can book with us to come through. We happily host you guys. Right, so let's jump into our presentation. So this is specifically for the education vertical. We're just going to, we've done our introduction already, so we're going to jump into our Hikvision at a glance. So who we are as Hikvision. Hikvision is a global technology company. We started in 2001, and now we have grown to have a total revenue in 2019 of $8.26 billion. And we've been on a constant growth path of 36%. We have 59 international subsidiaries and branch office across pretty much all the countries in the world. We currently have over 100,000 partners globally, and our product is being used in 150 plus countries and regions. We have over 40,000 people employed worldwide, with just under half of them being R&D, research and development staff. So technology and AI and big data is very much our forefront in terms of our specialty. So that's just a brief who we are. And so the solution background for education, I just want to bring your attention to this map that you guys have seen over here, where we outline quite a lot of risks and where our solution will fit in. Later on in the presentation, you'll see each one of the solutions in a bit more detail, but for now, just keep this sitemap in mind, where your dormitories, your control room, your office and classrooms, your school buses, your entrances, and your canteens. The common theme here is just where crowds are going to gather, where lots of foot traffic is going to go through. You don't want to be in close contact, which will pose high risk, and you also don't want to incur high labor cost in terms of the efficiency of your screening. Okay, right. Moving on. So first of all Hikvision solutions are contact-free. What that means is that the solutions will all work from a distance of at least 1 meter away. So this actually keeps your security personnel safe. And we also have very, very fast measuring rate because we use thermographic cameras that will be able to, we pretty much can pick up an individual's temperature by them just walking into a camera's field of view like this, like how you're looking at me right now. So another added advantage of our solution, which you'll see in some of the videos later, is that you can do multiple people in one go. So we've already have live sites locally in South Africa where you have shifts of people in some of the mines where we're looking at about 1,500 people per shift. They come in, we already have the cameras looking down at them, and they don't even pause sometimes, and they're getting their temperatures taken. And this kind of mass data is where we excel at. Now, looking at the actual slide itself, you can see we have pretty much a solution for every single one of the aspect of the education side. So you have your buses, school entrances, classrooms, canteens. Each one have their own individual solution, which we'll go over in detail later. Right, so the first solution we have is on the bus itself. So we have what we call a little mini access control fever screening display. What this actually does is that it does touchscreen fever screening temperature measurement. It gives you a little audio alarm, and it can also recognize you through facial recognition. I would highly encourage those people that are interested to come to our demo room to actually see our facial recognition working. You'll see a video of it working later, but it does some very, very advanced stuff, such as do temperature screening, enforce identity through your face, so you're no longer working with your fingers, you don't want to touch surfaces. And lastly, we can also do mask wearing policy enforcement. What that means is if you have solutions like this inside the bus or at the door, it will actually speak to you and tell you, sir, ma'am, you're not wearing a mask. Please, can you put your face mask on before I let you in? Now, linked to this is also a handy little display, as well as capability to link back into a control room, so you can start getting statistics even from your vehicle itself. This, of course, means that you need to have the correct internet connection or some kind of a network workout in between, but that's something that we can help you with solution designs. Okay. Now, moving on, we have, this is a video of just our fever screening. Let me just make sure the sound is up for you guys. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea about what that solution was, what I like about the video is that it actually showcases our AI feature a little bit. You'll see that it's actually a thermal camera, a dome, that has now been attached or integrated into a metal detector. It is a very neat unit, so in terms of installation, you can put one of these down and you already have an archway in a door already set up. The camera itself allows for measurement in front or other areas. Because of the camera, you can actually turn it, or you can actually set the measurement area quite efficiently. But because everything is linked up with our AI body detection, it actually recognizes what a human being is supposed to look like. So if you're walking in the morning with a hot cup of coffee, it knows to only measure your face. If you recall back in the video, that guy has to actually hold it against his forehead to simulate a fever in order for it to pick you up. This system can happily be put down by itself, and it'll run happily in its own silo, or you can link it up backwards into your network in order to get very vital data. So if you look on the right-hand side inside your control room, you can actually get very, very vital statistics for reporting later. So this is just one way to cover an entrance, so keep this in mind. Incidentally, I'm going to give a live case over here. We've actually donated some units to some hospitals locally, specifically the George Macquarie Hospital, as well as the Charlotte Matseke Academic Hospital. The situation they were having before this was that at George Macquarie, they set up a tent to do manual fever screening. And the people coming in, the queue was stretching out of the hospital into the taxi rank that's about 200 meters away. And this is absolutely not a good situation because people are coming in and now it's a congregation, everyone is waiting. Can you imagine if someone gets off the bus, they don't really have a virus, but now they're at risk because they're waiting inside this queue. So once we put the system in, you can see as the video is shown here, very, very quick. If you're going through there, there's a few aside a policy to go to the tent itself where you get measured in a more in-depth manner. Or if you don't, you can now go to the other side where you go about your business. Right.
Yeah, and I think, Tim, the thing for me that really stands out with that, and I think it's one thing the schools really need to think through, is you're going to have multiple people coming through an entrance at a point, and you can't afford to have queues and people standing across roads while other parents are trying to drop off. So I think it's good for the schools to keep in mind that what they do on their entrances is going to be key. So it's great seeing a solution that literally allows people to walk through without breaking.
Yes.
Sorry, back to you.
Cool. So this is a video of our, so in this slide you see a video of our fever screening access control reader. It combines facial recognition, temperature sensing, as well as mask wearing policies. So let's have a look and see how this works live. The video is just stuck. I do apologize. There we go.
Authenticated. Please wear a face mask. Authenticated. At normal temperature. At normal temperature. Please wear a face mask. Please wear a face mask. Authenticated. At normal temperature.
So what I particularly like about the solution is that it is very, very comprehensive in terms of what you will want for a access controlled door. So what you see here is actually a fully fledged access control reader. It takes away the need to use fingerprints and basically uses your face or card. It has a built-in card reader that allows you to gain access through those means. But on top of this, we have AI features. So as you can see, the guy had to hold the cup to his head again. Otherwise, it won't pick him up as having a normal temperature. And it recognizes your face through your mask, actually. So if you enrolled yourself beforehand, you can walk up to it with your face mask on, and it'll recognize who you are. Now, on top of this, when you don't have a face mask, you can have a policy in place to say, please put on your face mask before I allow you access. And you can actually turn each individual features on and off when you put in a solution like this. And the solution can be a long-term solution because you can actually just use this reader as an access control reader down the line, should the fever screening requirement not become mandatory anymore or become regulation anymore. So it very much can still act as an access control reader down the line. This reader can uniquely take up to 50,000 users in one go. So I think it will cover most of the requirements out there, but you can get more if you link it up with our centralized system. And once again, the statistics will be available if you link it up with the correct software or the correct, what we call a recorder. And you'll be able to pull the kind of data like who was running a temperature. You can even add notes such as, okay, we see on Monday, John Smith was having a normal temperature. Here's a little note. On Tuesday, HR or the health and safety department will get in touch with you and say, listen, you were running a temperature yesterday. Are you okay today? Right. Cool. Moving on to the next slide. So this is what we call the density control and close contact control AI device. And this camera can uniquely enforce social distancing for you. So what you see in the video here is actually we have a gentleman that's not really adhering to the social distancing. He's really getting into the guy's personal space. Then you'll see that the square, aka the blue square, the area that is set out for social distancing, will turn red, meaning that now an alarm has been generated for your for your store manager or for your people in class, that kind of thing. This solution can also be linked up with our interactive display. So on the left-hand side, you can see this is a digital signage. Very, very good for queues at the tuck shop, that kind of thing, where you need them to follow social distancing, but sometimes kids are just a little bit hard to control, and then they get just a little bit too excited. The sign can then turn red for them and say, listen, please stand back. And whoever is there as a teacher can then come step in and just take care of that situation. Okay. Now,
yeah, I think that's great. I think one of the big concerns is obviously if you've got 650 kids, trying to keep them apart will become a teacher's full-time job, and trying to track them. So I think these kind of solutions are going to simplify management for the staff.
Absolutely. So this next solution, before I start playing the video, I just want to outline it for everyone quickly. We are now going to look at our handheld thermal detectors. And as we said before, there's a lot of range in terms of what's available inside the market. So this video here actually demonstrates the difference in efficiency in terms of how when using a thermographic solution, can take measurement of temperature on the right-hand side of the video versus now someone using a traditional fever forehead screener on the left-hand side. So so we'll start the video here. So basically in this video, we're just demonstrating how important it is to have efficiency in terms of your fever screening. If you look at the right-hand side where we're actually using a thermographic camera, you just walk in front of it as if you're going about your business. And on the left-hand side, it's actually quite invasive. The person needs to stop, you need to press against their forehead, and then you take down the temperature. You're almost looking at 3 times the time to measure the same 5 people, with one of them having a simulated temperature. And you can imagine the kind of queues that this can now create. Another thing to note is that we're actually not doing the extra step here of now having to record the temperature data. So with the right-hand side, which is our solution, you actually have a little trigger on the actual gun itself. So you can press down on that trigger and it just takes a screenshot of the temperature data as well as who it was measuring. But on the left-hand side, these kind of solutions typically requires you to have a pen and paper to slowly write down what the measurement is for the day. And this invites all sorts of inaccuracies, from human error to maybe someone just not being bothered to do what is necessary, and the quality of the data down the line can be very badly affected. And that's really what you don't want. So I'm going to talk about both sets of the mobile temperature screeners together. So I'm just going to jump to the next page where we have a bit more technical data. Actually, I see we don't have that slide here. Okay, I'm going to jump back quickly. So these kind of mobile solutions, you actually have 2 sets that you can get. One has Wi-Fi built in, as well as automatic temperature alarms and audio alarms that you can do. The ones that you've seen over here is a more simplified version. So it really depends on how you would like to do the temperature measurement. The unique advantage of using a mobile solution in this case is that I'll use our classes overseas as an example. we had pupils come into class first, and it's very important for them not to congregate. So we actually let them through quickly. We make sure they sit down in classes where they have their desk already measured out into their social distancing requirements, and they actually don't move. So we don't really let them out of the class unless there is a requirement to go and, to take care of nature and that other things. But what then happens is the health and safety officers then come to the class rather, and from a distance, like you've seen in this video, measure the pupils to quickly take down the information they need and be on their way to walk to the next class. This removes the requirement for the entire class to uproot and go to the let's say the nurse's office or the matron's office, and now creates a congregation again, and you're going to end up with queuing, which is not what you want. With solutions like this, you can very efficiently take down the information as well as just not be intrusive in terms of your temperature screening. Right.
Cool.
So
thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim, 1 second. I just realized we're about 30 minutes in. I know we've also got the live demo. So just so you're aware, I know the couple of people are wanting to see Hunter's live demo. So cool. Just if you can be aware of timing.
Cool. I will be very quick with the next two solutions. So let's just run back. So what you've seen here, what we have next is actually more of a permanent solution in terms of temperature screening. So you actually have bullets on top of tripods that's now linked to a recorder. These kind of solutions excel with large shifts of people. So you can put down something that's that is more permanent, and you just have people walk in front of it. If you link it up to the correct software in MVR, we can do exactly the same thing that you've seen before, where we're taking down the facial recognition data. You can actually link this up through the network and connect into a centralized monitoring solution that allows for viewing and statistics. And then just a brief overview in terms of what you can see inside the control room. This is our HIX Central software, which can manage multiple sites together, as well as deal with the identity data should you want to run facial recognition, and give you trend reports of which site is having more risk by collecting the data from each site of what the devices see. You can see there's a very nice little electronic map that you can use to look at trends, and there's nice summary tools built in for abnormal temperature as well as counting of people that's coming in our premises. Lastly, we have some success cases overseas. We unfortunately don't have permission from the end user to use their names here, but this is a college in South Korea. As you guys know, South Korea is one of the global success cases for flattening the curve for COVID-19, and we're very, very honored to have Hikvision do our part in their success story. So one of the things to point out is that because of the population density is so high, a class in South Korea is actually around 90 to 100 pupils compared to over here, which is, I think, between 40 to 50. And it is important in the morning to actually have this kind of a solution to quickly process pupils. And then during the day, what they actually do is they actually walk in with the walking fever detectors to just quickly take down the information. In this kind of situation, it's important that the people that are putting the solution as well as the school work together to come up with the correct procedures to make sure that they have a tight knit. So yeah, it's just very, very good to see this kind of success stories. Lastly, this page here, I'm not going to go through too much in detail. This is just a lovely little cheat sheet for down the line when the slides are made available to our attendees to this webinar. You can quickly look back and just see all the solutions in the silos. So you have your temperature screening equipment on the left-hand side, you have your social distance solution in the middle, and then your backbone, which is what you will use for your networking, as well as control room on your right-hand side, as well as what each one of the solutions do. And lastly, this is the contact details of each individuals that is inside the different provinces. So you have my colleague Jason, that's down in Western Cape. We have myself, Tim, that is in Gauteng, and then Nucky, that is in KwaZulu-Natal, and then Jade, who's going to take care of contacts for the other provinces. And thank you very much. Thank you for being with us.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Tim, thank you. We will make all of those contacts available to everyone. While I'm just finishing with you, I'm going to invite Hunter on stage. Hunter, are you there? I'm seeing, doesn't look like you are now online. I think we have lost you. Hunter, if you are there, can you just go into the chat function so we can see you? Just while I'm trying to hunt Hunter down. There he is. Tim, one of the questions that came through was just where is your demos? If people want to see a demo room, where can they see it?
So our office is very close to Merrill's Arch, and we're actually right by the highway where the Corlett Drive intersects with the highway over there. Sorry, I've gone blank now in terms of what the intersection is called. But we're right there.
Melrose Arch area.
Yeah.
They can reach out to you.
Yes, so feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to book the demo. We do still need to follow social distancing protocol, so we're not allowed more than a certain amount of people inside the demo room. This is why it'll be important to book. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Tim, thank you. I think this is the moment I've been waiting for, and I can see we are live with Hunter. Hunter, welcome. It's great to have you on show with us, and excited to see what you're going to demo to us.
Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. This is Hunter. Thank you for having me. So I want to apologize for my terrible hair right now, because in China now it's like what is the time? So in China is 21:51. Sorry if you guys can see that. All right, so we got 6 hours time difference. So after my hair is from perfect to terrible, sorry. All right, so this is Hunter. I'm in Hikvision, China. See, this is my badge. I'm in China. I'm not from Chinatown, okay? So today we will do a quick demo for everyone. I just want to make sure the audio connection and the video connection is perfect, because we are more than 50,000 kilometers away from each other. So I do believe the network also have the jet lag. Okay, if it's okay, we're gonna start. So if you guys look from this side, okay, good. So if you guys can look from this side, okay. So now I want to also show you guys my crew. Okay, so this is my colleague. This is Quentin, and this is Novak. Okay, they're gonna be my photographer. So today I will just use my my laptop. The camera on my laptop, the webcam, to do the demo. So if you guys look from here, so Quentin, so let's give them thumbnail. Okay, so this whole thing is the metal detector door. So then let me put that closer for you guys. If you guys can see, there's some numbers right here, right? So if you see from here, that means the 41. If you guys can see the number, it should be 41. Maybe the direction is reversed, but it is 41, okay? So the 41 means 41 people passed this door today, and 34 of them wearing or bring the metal stuff, okay? Like scissors, knives, no, not like phones or keys. Okay, then from this number, 36.5, it's definitely the temperature. So actually this is the temperature of myself. So that's a healthy improvement, at least the coronavirus healthy proof. Okay, then this 15, that means 15 people, they got a high temperature today. All right, so today I will do a quick demo for you guys. I will let my crews to go across this machine. Okay, so Quentin, Novak, okay, so I'm gonna give them a view. Okay, so Quentin, you wanna go first and give us a demo? Okay, go. Okay, what is that, Quentin? What do you have? Okay, he's wearing his belt, sorry. So, Quentin, could you take it off and try again? Or maybe Novak. Try, Novak. So, could you stop right here? Okay. Just stop right here. So, Novak is here, okay? And he's very close to, he's very close to this metal detector. Then we can see this is his body temperature, 36.3. Okay, that is healthy also. So Novak is holding his, what is that? It's a watch?
Yeah, it's a watch.
It's a metal?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, let's try. So he's taking this Violet. I mean, this is a dangerous watch. So you go through and try.
James Bond watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a weapon. Okay, so that alarm too. So for example, let's get some hot water and try. Quentin, you wanna get this hot water? Is that hot water?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get this hot water and go through this detector. Go get closer. Oh wow. You guys can see that, right? That's a flashlight that is saying that your abnormal temperature. Let's see how much it is. Okay. Can you guys see the number? 40. Yep. 48.2. Oh, Quentin. Sorry. So Quentin, in my country, that means sick. If your body temperature is 48, usually that is equivalent to terrible disease. Okay. So now this is the metal detector. Okay, this is the part number 1. So usually if you go to the school, we would recommend you to put one of this metal detector in front of the lobby or the entrance of the buildings. All right, so this metal detector, it comes with the metal detector plus the thermal camera, and it will give you a alarm. So, oh, by the way, Quentin, so for example, right now, you're holding this water, not on your head. Just holding it, not on your head. Okay, you go through. Oh, stop. Okay, so from here, Quentin is taking the hot water still, but the temperature right here is showing 36.5. That is because the deep learning algorithm of this camera will only detect your face area. So if you don't have a face, sorry, absolutely you have a face. For example, if you're holding a coffee or hot water on your hands like this, then it will not detect it by the thermal camera. Okay, then that's it. This is for the part number 1. Now we're going to show you guys. The second device we're gonna have. Okay, which is this one. Okay, so if you guys can see this, okay, so this is the MinMoe. Oh, so, and that is my cheat sheet. Yeah, I mean, I got a good grade because of my cheat sheet. Thanks for that, I got a good GPA. So, all right, so this is the MinMoe facial recognition terminal. So you can see the first one is this one. This is a large 7-inch screen, so it's touch screen, very user friendly. And this one got 2 lenses right here. So 2 lenses, that means it's gonna give you the 3D modeling. So people cannot just got a video or picture and try to swipe in by the facial recognition. No, it has to be a live animal. Okay, so this is the facial recognition lenses. Then this is the thermographic lens. Okay, that's gonna detect your temperature. So now let me ask my crew to give you this demo again. So Quentin, so let's look at this is Quentin, okay? So Quentin is going to, don't look at me, look at this terminal, okay, right? So so when you guys can, oh, sorry. So you can see this is the 36.5.4, sorry. And you can see his name is, where's my finger, right here. It's Quentin, but it's from left to right because of this camera, okay? This is the Quentin authenticated. This is green color and good temperature. Then that means it's proved. Okay, so Quentin, I want you to take off your mask. Okay, Quentin is taking off his mask, okay? And he's exposed to the disease. All right. So what he said.
Please wear a face mask.
Say it again.
Please wear a face mask.
Okay.
Please wear a face mask.
If you guys can hear that.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, good. So it says, please wear a mask, and this is unproved, so you cannot get through the door. Okay, Quentin, put it on. So here's a question, Quentin. So for example, I said, even I don't wear the mask, but I still want to go in. Okay, so it will not stop me from going inside of the office, but he will give me a reminder, says, hey, please wear the mask. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Show us. So I will try to record this video. Okay, so firstly, he touched the screen and put in the password. What is that? Okay, yeah, he doesn't want to tell me. That's okay. All right, so go to the assistant, go to the face picture. Okay, stop. Let me show everybody this. Okay, so it says must wear face mask. Okay, sorry, this is a terrible image, but Yeah, but I mean, but later we're gonna share our PPT so everybody can see that. It says must wear face mask, and now we just disable it and we just show you the magic. Okay, yeah. Click it. Good. So Quentin now he doesn't wear the mask. Okay, but he said authenticated. Also, it says please wear the face mask. So it approved, but it's still better if you wear the face mask. Okay, Quentin. All right, so now, what about if you got a fever, you got a high temperature, your body temperature is high. So can we got hot water and try? This one. So can we got this hot water? Where's Quentin? Oh yeah, Quentin, you're here. Okay. Okay, so here we go.
Abnormal temperature.
Okay, abnormal temperature. So it's better, 38. It's better than just now because he's changing his hot water. Quentin is a big fan of hot water. I don't know if South African people like hot water, but Chinese people were a big fan of hot water. We drink it with everything. Right. Okay, so now this is the high temperature thing. So now the last function we want to show you guys with this MinMoe terminal is, for example, one day, Quentin, just leave this alone. He's tired of speaking. Okay, so for example, people says right now we don't care whether you have the credentials. We just want you have a healthy temperature. So for example, in the school, we don't care if you're the students of in this class because everybody can go to this class, but we just want you to have a normal temperature. Quentin, can we do that? Yes. Just regardless of the credentials, we just want to have the normal temperature. Okay, so let's change that. Sorry about the resolution, but later we're going to share the PPTs and slides and you guys can see the details. Okay. Wait, okay, Quentin. So, all right. I will hold on. Even people cannot see, I still want to try. Okay, so there's a function right here. It's called this is called a temperature measurement only. Sorry, this is terrible image, but it says temperature measurement only. So if we enable that function and go back, and Quentin, Novak, I think you're stranger. Quentin, just leave this for Novak. Okay, so Novak is a stranger. In the school, yeah, you know, he's wearing a mask and hat. It looks like a stranger. Yeah, good. So Novak, try. Okay, so he's a stranger, he can still authenticate it, okay? Because right now we only require he's healthy. We don't care whether he got a credential or not. For example, me, I'm gonna try myself. Can I? Okay. It is also authenticated because it only needs me to have a healthy body. I'm healthy. Okay, good. So this is part 2. We talk about the further one, the metal detector door, the MinMoe device, and the next part we will talk about the people flow or the flow control. Okay, so Quentin, could you open up that software? So now I will quickly show you guys another image. Okay, so now I'm remoting to another laptop. And Quentin is busy working on that. Okay. Sorry, I think I should share my screen. So firstly, let me share, enable screen sharing.
Awesome.
Okay.
Not yet coming through, but I'll when it's sharing.
Yeah, I will do that.
There you go.
I am doing that right now. Can everybody see that now?
Yeah, it's coming through. Yeah, it's loaded.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
And
yeah,
thank you for making this entertaining. I enjoy your sense of humor, so thanks. Also, Hanson, I'm just aware of the time.
Yep.
We want to try to keep it just a couple more minutes.
Okay, I will do that quickly
to keep
for you guys. Yep, because we don't only have 2 more devices to go. Okay, so now let's look at here. So this is the device we just put on. This is the people counting camera. If we enlarge that, boom, you can see this is people inside and available to enter. And this is the people counting plus the hack central. What we do is we put a people counting camera and a hike central. So we can count how many people in that area. Also, let me quickly switch to another view so you guys can have a better image of that. So this is the people counting camera we're working on. So let me switch you guys to another image. Okay, Quentin, you blocked the camera. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So if you guys can look at this image, then from the right side, this is the video of coronavirus prevention. So this is the video. Then this is please come in, right? So right now we can see this is the place, and we call the boys. Quentin, did you call the guy? Okay, that guy is a crew member, and now he is right here in this camera. If you guys can see, okay, see, so he came here. Okay, so we got 2 people inside and the 3 enter. So I will let someone work again. Okay, he is working from the inside to the outside. Okay, again. All right, sorry guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
okay,
we got
good.
you.
Sorry, I just lost for like 1 second. So now 3 people inside, 2 to enter. So now 1 to enter. Okay, so the last one, and we will see the difference. Yeah, that guy's busy because we only use 1 guy to work 4 times. Sorry, because it's 9:30 during the night. We can't find much manpower, you know. All right. So now, okay. So he said, please wait. People inside 5 and outside 0. Okay. So this is the result. I want to quickly show you guys. And the last one, okay, it's me again. So the last one, I want to show you guys. Our last device is this TP31. Okay, this is TP31 is a thermographic camera. So if you guys can see the image, so right. Hey Nova, come here. I want to detect your temperature. You sit in there. Yeah, you sit in there. Okay.
Hunter, can you do my temperature?
Sorry?
Can you do my temperature?
Your temperature, yeah, where's you? Okay. All right, so now let's see, where are you, Novak? Okay, right here. You can see his temperature is 36. Sorry, the resolution's terrible, but I can read for you guys. He is 36.3, okay? So he's healthy. This is the economical handheld thermographic camera. Okay, this is it. I will also spend 1 minute for you guys because this is only for a one-on-one deal. But I want to show you guys a camera that can detect 30 people at the same time. Okay, so that'll be fast. Again. Let me enable screen sharing again, and I will give you. Okay, can you guys see that now? Oops, sorry. What about now?
There we go, it's coming up.
Okay, good. Okay, so now I will show you guys this thermal camera. Okay, so Quentin and Novak, so could you double click that? Okay, just got this one, and then let's just, okay, close the first one. Okay, so hold on. So now you guys can see 2 images right here. So 1 for thermal, 1 for optical image. So this is a dual lens camera. So now I want to give you guys the optical image. So I enlarge that. Right, so Quentin and Novak, let's just get into the image. Okay, so okay. Thank you, Quentin. Novak, get closer to Quentin. Yes, now we can see these 2 people, we can see their body temperature at the same time. And the maximum people we can have in the same image is 30. So if you have like rush hour during the class time or the go home time, for example, dismissing time or recess time, when you have a lot of people go through that entrance or exit, we can have 30 of them. All right, so Quentin, you got some hot water on your head. Novak, stay still. All right, good. So Quentin, is that hot water? Get closer. Okay, now we can easily compare who is in high body temperature, right? So Quentin, hold this higher. Okay. So when this bottle is not close to his face, then no, nothing's gonna happen, all right? And on the software, we also capture their body temperatures. Okay, we have all these records. All right, guys, I think that's going to be all for our demo, and I'm sorry for a little bit more time than expected, but that's the demo. So feel free to ask questions or leave your comments in the chat box. All right, thank you, guys.
Awesome. Hunter, thank you. That was, I enjoy your sense of humor.
Thank you.
Please tell Novak and Quinton, thanks so much for being ordered around.
All right, no problem.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Peter.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, I think what we are going to do is we're going to finish off there. I know we went a little bit longer than we normally do, but I think it was important for everyone actually to be able to see the products. I think from just the school's understanding, this is one comprehensive system that can handle all of your different needs. So I know Hunter is overseas, but they do have a showroom in Gauteng, and they do have representatives in each province. So we will make sure in an email now that you get a link through where you can get their contact details. Please reach out to their local team if you've got any questions, if you'd like a quote, or if you'd like to see any more info. So Hunter and Tim, thank you. We really appreciate your time. We also appreciate you putting the effort in to really show us a comprehensive system. And to all of the schools and the other people viewing, thank you for spending the time. We appreciate you showing it. You will get a link with the details. And that is us for a day. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.